was supposed to be a lot of fun. It was this chocolate, right? You get this fast spike with viral growth and rapid distribution, and then the ability to hold on to those users, right? And that was the retention and monetization, kind of like peanut butter, nice and sticky. So, in theory, you had this nice little perfect, Reese's peanut butter cup kind of dynamic. So, I think it's clear Facebook won as a dominant social network. All other platforms really just don't move the needle or really matter that much. And so, we created the three-legged stool of social gaming distribution on Facebook, consisting of, first, inherent virality of the games. Second was cross-promotion into your existing daily active user base, right? That was your distribution muscle you created for yourself. Of the players you had, how do you launch your next title rapidly into 5, 10, 20 million daily active users? And then thirdly, advertising. So Facebook ad system became more robust, and that became a key mechanism. So these were the three legs of the stool for social distribution of these kinds of games. But some major Facebook platform changes came. As the platforms evolved, the Facebook platform team was ratcheted down the viral mechanisms. So in some ways, you might look at it and say, there goes the free chocolate. So as we take away inherent virality, that emphasizes cross-promotion, so it gives more power to those with an incumbent DAU base they can cross-promote into, and increases reliance on new players to spend money on Facebook ads. So in some ways, this has really hurt the ecosystem for new entrants, because now we're looking at a lot more friction in distribution. Overnight virality to 10 million daily active users doesn't look like it's possible, and you may have to be cutting checks of hundreds of thousands to be spending on Facebook ads to get new users. And in some ways, I think this has fueled the consolidation of social gaming. This is why those, the big three, the big four with the big daily active user bases are even more powerful, because their existing DAU base is the cross-promotion muscle others can't get anymore. Hence the massive roll-up wave we're seeing between Zynga and Play-Doh, and now also Disney and others getting in the mix. Facebook credits launched. So, on the surface, this looked more convenient. One-stop shop, it's all pre-integrated, one click, there you go. But it also means a more costly peanut butter. Why is that? Typically, when you sell a virtual good, you don't just sell the exact amount for that one item, you sell a point pack, right? And it's pretty much assured that your players will spend all of the amount in that point pack over time. Well, part of the Facebook credits implementation is they want to drive liquidity, meaning they will only sell you enough Facebook credits for that one pair of sunglasses that you want to get at that point in time. So, there's the 30% off the top hit that you got to rev split back to Facebook. But for your games, keep in mind this may feel more like 50 or 60% hit, because you've dropped the ARPU if you can't sell your minimum point packs. Now, this is all discussion in flux with Facebook and their social game publishers, but it's a dynamic to be aware of. So we talked about the ad-only model, right? I think one learning is everybody flocked to virtual goods, right? Everybody wanted to become free-to-play and microtransaction-based. But I think the key learning is you can't just bolt on or retrofit a microtransaction model as an afterthought. You can't just take a standard, once paid download game and say, oh, now it's free to play with microtransactions. We're just going to stick a bunch of pink shirts and things on it and virtual little bags on it. That didn't work as much. I think people are finding you have to build the game from the ground up to be optimized for free to play and microtransaction model. We also saw in the iPhone space, the paid app model, that was a race to free or 99 cents, and that was just a losing curve. So trying to maintain price points on iPhone as hundreds of thousands of apps flooded the App Store made no sense to the business model, and it really resulted in capped upside. So if you had a smash hit iPhone game that sold 1 million copies at $1, it's $1 million, 30% back to Apple, you're left with $700,000. To get the attention of people on iPhone these days, you probably put in close to $500,000 of development budget on the thing for the right graphic bells and whistles. You're not left with a lot of profit. And that's why I think smartphone gaming now all shifted towards the same model as online social gaming, which is free-to-play and microtransaction, in-game transactions. So pretty much we're looking at online and mobile social gaming as the frameworks of most of the games that we're seeing now. Advertising itself has evolved, though. How many of you have heard of CPI, or cost per install? It's a pretty clever little model. What we found is, this started in iPhone first that I saw. In iPhone apps, yeah, you could show display advertising and get pretty low eCPMs through ad networks like AdMob or whatnot. But even more valuable were other third-party developers desperate to get initial installs of their application. So much so, they would pay existing developers who had big DAU install bases anywhere anywhere from 50 cents to $1 for installs of new users. So basically, if you had a good application with a wide footprint and you had usage on it, you could then turn around and sell cross-promotion of third-party apps to those third parties for getting them installs. And this is kind of interesting. NG Loco, actually my portfolio company, started doing this when they realized, wow, we got a pretty big player base. There are other people who would love to buy installs from our user base, and we can cross-promote them. We can say, hey, you're going to get 5 puppy bucks and touch pets in exchange for installing and trying this other application. So you have incentivized cross-promoted app installs. So this all started on iPhone because there was no virality. There was no way to really cross-promote in the App Store. So people had to synthesize their other cross-promotion channels. Now that Facebook has reduced their virality, we're seeing these same models migrate from iPhone over to online. So don't be surprised when you start to see CPI cross-promo networks pop up on Facebook as well. I think we may be talking about that in the panel later today. Well, and then I think it was at one of Charles Hudson's events, there was the Virtual Goods Summit where the whole OfferGate scandal came about. Michael Arrington and I think the off-trial CEO had some pretty heated words, and then suddenly it was all scammed. But I don't know, I think it's that scandal and that hype factors come and gone. There is a clear role for offers, and what I've seen is the offer role is evolving, and there's especially a role for premium, validated, branded offers. And then as we talk about check-ins and full Foursquare phenomena, offers in the real world of retail will be another dimension that we'll explore later today. I'm seeing some signs of subscription models working. Lumos Labs, a few others, are showing that you can do, the free-to-play converts into subscription at pretty meaningful conversion rates. Haven't seen it broadly spread yet. I've always thought that the revenue model of the future is sort of this triple layer cake. You have free with advertising or CPI, then you'll have microtransactions, and then a small percentage would convert to subscription. So something to keep in mind. I think that, especially for example, the youth market would be very well suited for that. All right, so we talked about capital efficiency and potentially smaller scale outcomes. I think it's pretty clear we're in a state of consolidation. So, the very well-known secret is that right now everybody and everything is for sale. Every single company out there probably has a price right now to sell because the wave of consolidation is sweeping up very quickly. A lot of people say social gaming has less than a 2-year window. If you're not sold or figured out your exit by then, a little late to the dance, the trains have left the station. Maybe, maybe not. There could be new genres coming, but it's pretty clear that Zynga and Playdom are an all-out acquisition war, and that's pretty good for independent developers. We have a reasonable amount of money. You've got a profitable title. You've got a good team. You've got some good technology there or good player base. I'm sure they've come calling to you already, so that's a pretty handy option to have. Now, traditional publishers jumping in the game. EA was first buying Playfish, but Ubisoft, THQ, all these others are sniffing around as well. So that increases the potential exit option. I have a feeling Activision will probably be last to the dance, but I think they'll be very interesting when they do make a move. Will probably be a big one. Major media companies are also getting into the fray. As they find that the revenues from traditional broadcast ads fall off, they are looking at gaming as a way to monetize and transform a lot of the IP they have. So this list is actually much longer, but these are just some of the ones I've dealt with and the ones you should know in the back of your mind as potential exit outcomes as well. IAC, ABC Disney, the broadcasters, the online guys, as well as even Comcast and Discovery Channel, those sorts of folks. There are private equity roll-ups. We've heard about Crystal Wolf talk about MindJolt and what he's trying to do there. And then this is the interesting one. The overseas players may represent the most disruptive buyers of all. So the power that some of these guys have is unparalleled. I remember last year asking about Tencent, and not a whole lot of people in the audience knew where they were. I'm pretty sure this year everybody's heard of Tencent QQ. If you haven't, look them up. Quick stat for you. They sell more than $1.2 billion a year in just virtual goods. Their market cap, meaning the value of the company on Wall Street, is worth more than Electronic Arts and Yahoo combined.